Good morning. We're going to take a look now at lesson 5-9. And in this case, we are going to write the polynomial functions and models, write the equations. And please note that it's only one of many possibilities. So from the graph, you should be able to write a polynomial function. When we start getting other facts, we might not be as specific. Today we're going to be pretty specific, but down the road we might not. Okay, first step, you're going to use the x-intercepts to write the factors. And I am not going to make you expand that. You do not have to use FOIL or the table where you're going to expand when you have the product of three binomials. You just have to write your factors as a product. Okay, and then step 2, you got to find your lead coefficient by using the y-intercept or another point that you are given. Let's look at a couple examples. Okay, when I look at this one, I see my zeros or my x-intercepts at x equals -2, x equals -1, and x equals 1. So when I make that equal to 0, I can think of those zeros as being x plus 2. So remember, you can use your 0 to go back and get the factor. Right? Then the next one is going to give me x plus 1. And the last 0 in my list will give me the factor x minus 1. So we've got step 1. We used the zeros, the x-intercepts, to write the factors. There's 3 x-intercepts, so there's 3 factors. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is figure out what my lead coefficient is. Now you can write this as y equals or f of x equals. Okay, to find out the value of a is I'm going to use a point that is not a 0 on the x-axis. Okay, so I'm going to use the point 0, 6. The 0 is going to be my x, the 6 is going to be my y. So I'm going to have 6 equals a, 0 plus 2, then 0 plus 1, and 0 minus 1. Okay, so most of you are not going to put the zeros in. You're going to go straight to 2 times 1 times -1. Sometimes you're going to have to put a number in. In fact, my next example is that. So I have a times -2. So my a is -3. So my final equation that I'm going to use will be y, or f of x, equals -3, x plus 2, x plus 1, x minus 1. My pen drags again. It's supposed to erase. Try again. Okay? And you should be able to say, oh, yeah, that 3 makes it a little steeper. The negative means this right-hand end is going down. I got my zeros from my factors. That should be good. Remember, you can always check by going to Desmos. Now, this might not be perfect because when I graph, I don't always worry about how far down does this go. I don't worry, does this go up beyond and then come back and go through 0, 6? Or does it go up beyond that? I don't worry about that as much. I'm worrying about those 4 critical points, the zeros, the y-intercept. So my graph might not be an exact match to what you would get on Desmos. And I don't want you to worry about that. Okay, one more example. Right? This time I've got a double 0. Did you see that? That's a double. Okay, so that means x equals -2 twice. So that factor is going to be x plus 2 squared because it's positive to the left and positive to the right, the only way that happens is if it's squared. Okay, my next 0 is just 0, so that gives me just an x. That's a nice one to have. And then my last one is x equals 3, so that gives me the factor x minus 3. Okay, take time, make sure you understand it. Make sure you understand why this one's a double. Okay, watch for that. Okay, the other point I have shown here is the point -1, 2. And again, that's going to help me find my value of A. I should have written that in a different color, but I didn't. So this time when I put my numbers in, y is 2, x is -1. Okay, so I have 2 equals -a. This would be 1, but it's squared, which is still 1. And this would be -4. So when I simplify that, I'm going to get positive 4a. So a is positive 1/2. Now, I hope you expected it to be positive because this end and this end both go up. I hope you realize that this is a 4th degree because you got exponents 1, 2, and 1. So we can write our equation. Y, or f of x, equals 1/2, and then the rest comes from here. X plus 2 squared, and x minus 3. And again, you can check it. You can throw it into Desmos. Don't look for perfect details in the y direction, but look for those 4 critical points that we used. All right? Take a look at those again as you need to. The other part we want you to talk, or we need to talk about in this lesson is what they call finite differences. Okay? So what you're looking for is if the x values are equally spaced. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take a look at the differences of consecutive y values. They're called finite differences. Okay, maybe you're seeing the pattern f of 5 would be 25. Okay. So notice this is the y value, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. The first difference is when you take 4 minus 1 and get 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. 16 minus 7 is, 16 minus 9 is 7. 25 minus 16 would be 9. The second differences are now the same. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 7 will be 2. And now the second order differences are the same. And when it's the second order that are the same, you're going to have a second degree. Okay, so that's how I knew that that's going to be something with x squared. Well, this one's a nice one. It's just x squared. But a lot of times it's not. Okay. So triangular numbers are 1, 3, 6, 10. So these are the y values. So this is f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, f of 4, and so on. Notice the first difference is 3 minus 1 is 2, 6 minus 3 is 3, 10 minus 6 is 4, and so on. So this is your first difference. Here's our second. And the second are all the same. So I know this is an x squared. And notice that that is x squared. Yes, it has an x too, but your highest degree is going to be the same as the difference, what order difference it is. Right? All right. If a polynomial f of x has degree n, so if it's degree 1, then the first order differences will be constant. If it's degree 2, the second order differences will be constant. Okay? If it's a cubic, then the third order differences will be constant. So if it's degree n, then the nth order differences of the function values for equally spaced x values, so when the x's go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 4, 6, 8, okay, then those are going to be constant, and they can't be 0. Please note, they can't be 0, because then you went too far. Okay. And here's what I was talking about. If the nth order differences of equally spaced data are non-zero and constant, then the data can be represented by a polynomial function of degree n. So the degree matches when the differences are the same. Okay? Let's see if we can do an example. The first 5 centered square numbers are given. So here there's no square, you just have the first one is 1. Well, then the second one, you've got 1, and then when you make a square, you're putting 4 dots around, so that's how you get 5. And the third one, you got 5, but then you're putting on 8 more dots. Okay? And the fourth one, you got the inside 13, but then you're adding 12 dots. Okay? So here's our first y values. They're 1, 5, 13, 25, 41. Let's find the first difference. The first difference, when we subtract here, we're going to get 4. Here we're going to get 8. Here we're going to get 12, and I think some of you are already seeing the pattern. Okay, so the first differences are 4, 8, 12, 16. The second differences, those are all 4. So we know this is going to be something with x squared. Okay, something with x squared. It's going to be an x squared polynomial. Okay. Now, I think we've done enough work in the past. I'm going to add a page. Enough work in the past that we can figure this out. Okay. F of 1 is 1. F of 2 was 5. F of 3 was, what was that? 13. F of 4 was 25, but I don't need that much because I can go back and say 1 equals A times 1 squared plus B times 1 plus C, and I'm using that y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So then the next one, 5, would equal a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. And then the next one, 13, would equal a times 3 squared plus b times 3 plus c. So the equations I would use in my calculator would be 1a plus 1b plus 1c. I'll give the coefficient just so I don't confuse anybody. The next one would be 4a plus 2b plus c equals 5. And the last one would be 9a plus 3b plus c equals 13. Now, if it was degree 3, we would need one more set of information. But that would be enough. We would put it in our calculator to figure out what a, b, and c are. There you go. That was our lesson for the last lesson of chapter 5, lesson 5-9. So we will get a video ready for reviewing, and we'll be able to have a test.